Well, tonight's the night. It is poor lighting. Yep, it's poor lighting night. Terrifier 3, finally here tonight. I'm seeing it opening night here at this historic United Artists. Well, historic to my life. Nobody else gives a shit about it. But for me, same place I saw Terrifier 2. We just had Elliott Fullam on the show. David Howard Thornton's been on the show. I did Lauren LaVera's first ever interview of her career. You know, we've got some ties in this movie. We got some ties. It's gonna be a great one. I got a hunch. I always have a hunch. Am I too positive with these reviews? You know, I think this movie is projected to be the biggest movie in the country, and Joker kind of flopped. I was positive about Joker. I gave it a good review, but I don't know. People shit on it. Sorry, I enjoyed it, but will I enjoy Terrifier 3 even more? We'll find out. Come on now. If you know Rue, you know what happened. You know what happened. I stopped at the Dollar Tree, got the Sour Patch Kids. You can't leave home without the Sour Patch Kids. Come inside my car. Look at this. We stopped at Spirit Halloween. I got something I'm going to put on my door. Oh, look at that. Look at that. He's going fast. He thinks that impresses me. No, it doesn't. Get a better hobby. I got a Sam mask. This is going to go on my front door for trick-or-treaters. Yeah, yes it is. Yes, I will see you on the other side. Terrifier 3. Damien, you did it again. Or maybe you didn't. I didn't see it yet. We'll find out.
On the journey to outdo himself and top his latest kill.
I'm going to state the obvious. I don't think I've ever seen a movie this bloody. Steady from start to finish like this, I don't think I've seen one. And I've seen The Gauntlet, and I know Damien was raised on this stuff, and I think he's just topped not only himself, but everything that has come before him. Practical effects, the amount of detail that goes into this is insane. The practical effects and gore are so strong in this movie. It's not really a negative, but I'm going to kind of paint it as somewhat of it outshines everything else. Like, to the people who say there's no story, you don't know what you're talking about. There is a story. I saw a couple of reviews, and I shouldn't have read reviews beforehand. Watched reviews beforehand that said this thing was like lacking a story. No, there's plenty of story. The downside is it gets overshadowed so much by the kill scenes. And I don't mean it in a bad way. It's not like the story is weak by any means. This is what put the asses in the seats. You're not going to not give the people what they want. Okay? You're going to up the ante. He sure did, but at the expense of overshadowing a lot of other aspects of this movie. The acting was fantastic. I'm gonna run down a few names here. Phil Falcone, fantastic cameo. Just kidding. No, you did a good job, Phil, and a great cameo. Let's go down the main players. Phil Falcone, producer of Terrifier, the Terrifier series, and partner of Damien. Shout out to Phil Falcone. Two Italian guys from the East Coast of this great land of ours. Have really DIY'd this thing. Lauren, if you don't know, Lauren LaVera star in this as Sienna. I think I think this is a better performance than part 2. Well, naturally, she's progressing as an actor, and she's getting better. And one thing I love about Lauren as Sienna in this movie, and she was good at this in part 2. But in part 3, one thing that I dislike about certain horror movies is when an actor or actress, when an actor has something in front of them that happens that is so heinous and so just hideous and terrifying, pardon the pun, and just the worst possible thing ever. And their reaction and the way they act, it fits what's on the paper. But if this were to happen in real life, like Lauren's reactions are to a T how a human would react if this happened in real life. If the shit that you see in Terrifier happened in real life, a person go knock on a neighbor's door, and if that, hopefully that you're not Art the Clown, and if the scenes in this movie were to happen in real life, that person, Lauren, would react just like so natural, like believable to it. And that's something that's you cannot find with, you find that with like actors who've been at it 30-40 years. Like you find it with like people, unreal. She can write her own ticket, and that's from somebody who would like her to not write her own ticket, because I kind of want to keep seeing her in Terrifier movies. So Damien, keep making them so we can keep Lauren in horror. Samantha Scafidi as Veronica Hayes, Art's sidekick in this. If you remember the character from previous films, this is, wow, what an upgrade to her character. How Samantha knocked it out of the damn park with this. Wow. I mean, this is like, the beautiful thing about this is, I was thinking to myself, this is the third movie, and per the character art, David has not spoken a word. David Howard Thornton has not spoken one word in these 3 movies. And he's still the most iconic modern day horror star we've seen in some time. But I think what Samantha added as Veronica was a voice, this version of Veronica, like on steroids. Like it, oh my God, it was fantastic. So probably the scariest part of the movie, and those last 20 minutes of the movie, 25 minutes of the movie, she stole the show. I will say that. The fact that her characters can talk, obviously, really added another dimension, especially to those last 25 minutes, whatever it was. My time is like nothing in these movies. I didn't even feel that. Well, it was over 2 hours. It didn't feel like it. Felt like it was, 45 minutes. It was just so quick. A shout out to Elliott Fullam. I think Elliott improved greatly from part 2, his acting ability. I thought he did a great job in part 2. In part 3, I think he's really come into his own as an actor, even more so. And fantastic job, Elliott, as Jonathan. David, as always. Here's something I want to bring up with David in this Christmas themed family film. There were scenes in this, and you got a lot of this in part 2, but more so in part 3, where David is in between the murderous rampages, and maybe before, during, and maybe even and after, for sure after. He is pretty humorous. A lot humorous. It's kind of a weird thing because Art is such a heinous, diabolical, supernatural character, but he's beloved just like Freddy, Jason, and Michael Myers. And when you throw on top of that some of the scenes where like hell on earth is happening, but audience is popping and laughing at the mannerisms, at the comedy, naturally, because it's funny. Not the killing of the people, of course, but the reaction and the contrast from heinous murder by Art, and then funny, lighthearted, slapstick mannerisms by art. The contrast there, it is funny, and what it does to me is it adds to just people love Art the Clown. There's an animatronic at Spirit Halloween. There's merch. There's everything. And not that it's a bad thing, but there is one negative that comes from this. There is one negative that comes from this because of Art being so beloved and because he's fucking funny in this one, which I think really makes the gore more tolerable, by the way. I think the fact that it's Art and it's not just some mindless psychopath, because Art splices in that comedy. You know, I remember talking to David and him telling me that he, at his core, is comedy. He's a comedic actor. A lot of times that hurts some of the emotional attachment to the protagonist, or the protagonist, or the good guys in the movie, especially in the end. Like, there were scenes in the end of this movie where I'm like, I should be feeling emotion, more emotion than I am. I feel like this audience should be feeling more emotion than they are, but they're not, because they effing love Art the Clown. And you know, that's, I think deep down Damien gets it. I think he gets it. And you're not going to cut back. And I wouldn't cut back. Crazy, despicable, evil things are happening. And other than the reaction to some of the practical effects, I'm feeling nothing. I'm not. And am I a bad person? Or is it just, maybe I don't think I am. I think I have a lot of empathy. Okay, most of it is for animals, but I'm just saying. That's the only drawback and negative I can say about this movie, is the empathy and the emotion that I should be feeling for some of the protagonists is kind of like hurt, but that's a casualty of having a horror icon. And I said this about Michael Myers. Probably the best. I'll give you a quote. I'll give you a quote for your DVD. Oh, shit. They don't sell DVDs anymore, do they? Yes, they do. Blu-ray. This is the best Christmas horror movie of all time. And that's saying something. You got Black Christmas. You've got, Silent Night, Deadly Night. You've got Krampus, which I love. You got a lot of movies throughout the years. Christmas horror. This is the best Christmas horror movie. You know what I enjoyed a lot? I enjoyed that Daniel Roebuck. I enjoyed that Daniel Roebuck as Santa Claus. And the cherry on top of that scene was Clint Howard. Are you kidding me? Oh my freaking God. That guy. What? Two guys from Three from Hell, from Rob Zombie's Three from Hell. Fantastic job, Clint. Great job. Awesome job, Daniel Roebuck. Oh my goodness, great. Oh man. I mean, that's no secret. I'm not going to spoil anything, but you saw the artwork of Art. Again, pardon the pun, with... You know what character I felt empathy for? Santa. Daniel Roebuck. I felt empathy for him. Again, this is a non-spoiler review. I can't get into it, but man, that was brutal. But the most brutal scene was, my opinion, the shower scene. Oof. I'm gonna guess that's, you know what? There was a scene that David Howard Thornton had has been telling people that made him actually gag. I'm gonna guess it was that one, and it was towards the end. We're not gonna give you everything, but it does rival the scene in part 1. I've gone on long enough. I love the movie. I thought it was fantastic. I'm not gonna do a star rating for this because this story is not finished. I'm just gonna give it a thumbs up. Is that what Siskel and Ebert used to do? Did they used to do thumbs up, thumbs down, or was it like multiple 5 thumbs ups? That doesn't make sense, right? It was a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Hard thumbs up, way in the air. This thumbs up has tinsel on it. It's got blood. It's got intestines. It's got a star, like the top of the Christmas tree, that star. It's got all kinds of decorative lights on it. It's got okay. The last thing I'll say, there was one person that walked out. This should have been the first thing that I said. And it happened. It didn't happen when you thought it would. The opening scene, which, in my view, I don't know. I don't think that was the most controversial scene. The most controversial scene happened later in the movie, towards the end, and that is when this person walked out of the movie. It was gender doesn't make a difference, but I'll just paint the picture. It was a younger woman, and she was with two other people, and I don't think it was related to the gore. I don't think it was related to the gore. I think it was related to something that she got offended at, and she quietly got up and said, I was sitting in the same row as these people. A male gentleman sitting next to me, and then who I assume was his significant other, and then her friend. Well, the friend got up and left and said, "I love you." I'm going to quote right now. "I love you guys. I'll see you later. I love you guys. I'll see you later." And I was like, "Wow, okay. Well, I'm staying." It's fake. Anybody want to tell her? It's a movie. Entertainment. Damien and David and Lauren and I don't know Samantha, but I'm sure she is too. All pretty nice people in real life. It's not real. But she left. Great movie. Not for everyone. Do not see this if you're not used to practical effects in movies. If you've never seen 80s horror, if you've never seen 70s, 80s horror, don't go see this movie. You're going to vomit. I didn't get queasy at all because I'm used to this. I don't want to say desensitized, but this was definitely another level. Damien, looking forward to part 4. I know he's already announced it, so that's not a spoiler. And keep doing what you're doing. I am very proud of the DIY punk rock of horror. Thumbs up. We're not doing a star rating. The biggest thumbs up of all time. The biggest thumbs up, the Kris Kringle's, yeah, bye.